So we haven't talked about FHA yet. So FHA is a 3.5% down.
Right.
It does have PMI on it, right? Any other fees around FHA?
So on FHA, where it has a funding fee and the PMI, their funding fee is 1.75 versus the 1% on USDA. That's why we always lean toward the USDA for them, because it's a little better loan for them. The 1.7 is financed into the loan, and then they're also going to get with 0.80 basis points, 0.80 in mortgage insurance, depending on how much they put down. They do get a break in mortgage insurance if they put 10% down versus the 3.5, or actually if they put 5% down, they'll get a break, I believe it is. They get a break and it goes down, instead of 0.80, it goes to 0.85, it goes to 80, and it's a little bit of a break. But
and on FHA now, PMI is for the life of the loan, right? It never drops off?
That's not necessarily true.
Okay.
If they put the 3.5% down, it's on the life of the loan. But what's nice about it is a decreasing premium. So as your loan goes down, it's refactored every year based on the 0.85.
So your PMI goes down too?
It goes down as a decreasing premium. If you put 10% down, it falls off in 11 years. And on top of the 11-year falling off, it's still a decreasing premium. It'll decrease every year.
And now most conventional loans, if you've got PMI on it, once you hit 80% LTV, it drops off, right?
Yes, but if it's ahead of your schedule, you're ahead of schedule where it's fallen off, you've got to, they'll require
appraisal.
If you think the market's gone up and you want to try to get it off, they'll require you to get appraisal. And then process.
And if you piss off the appraiser and it doesn't appraise right, then you wasted $500. I've maybe done that once or twice.
The seller concessions on there is going to be the 6% too. We talk a lot about repairs and negotiating that, FHA does have a repair escrow program that we hold in-house that's rolled into the loan, and we can go up to $5,000 on that repair escrow program. But we have to consider I think it's 1.5% fund cushion. So we basically can go up to about, I think I had it figured at, I forget on the last one, I didn't go to 5,000. But whatever 1.5 is probably about $4,400.
So what he's saying is, if you have an FHA that needs some repairs, we could maybe escrow the repair cost on the FHA
and make the buyer responsible.
And make the buyer responsible. So there's some flexibility on these programs when it comes to repairs and getting them to close. So don't just assume that there's not money when you're negotiating these inspection notices. There's ways to potentially make things happen if you're working with a good lender. So be having a conversation with the lender on there.
Well, you want to push to the seller to see if they'll do those appraisals.
That's
on these repairs. I'm talking about this escrow repair program. It's only the items that are listed that the appraiser notes to be repaired.
Right.
It's not any additional items.
It's all the predication work.
Right. All the predication work.
All the predication work.
And and if you do, some of you, and we may see more of them, the HUD foreclosures out there, HUD actually lets you go up to $10,000. And the way it works, we close the loan, and then it's the buyer's responsibility to get the repairs done in a 60-day timeline. Send me the invoices, and we actually cut them a check back. If we cut them the check back and it doesn't cover all the repairs, well, we usually just cut the whole check back.
Well, there.
In theory, we could do a principal reduction, but we don't do it because it's such a frustrating thing to do. We just cut them the check back.
Should we discuss 203Ks at all? Real briefly?
They're tough loans.
They're tough loans, but it's... How many did you do last year?
I didn't do any.
Didn't do what about?
I tried one. I couldn't get it through. They didn't like the contractor. But I've done, one year I did 7 of them.
7 of them. And so basically what that is an FHA construction loan, in theory.
Right.
So just real briefly, like what's the qualification?
The easiest one is to do the 203K streamline. Go up to right around $35,000 in there. And we actually finance that into the loan, and you have that money to do your repairs to make it qualify.
And I guess I shouldn't have said construction loan. I should have said a renovation loan.
It's really a renovation
loan.
It's the full renovation loans that are really difficult, and I was trying to do a full-blown
one.
and they didn't like the contractor. It went down to that. They didn't like the contractor. He didn't have the experience to do the $100,000 with the transaction, and I couldn't get it through.
Couldn't get it
We
through.
tried different.
So there are some options there when it comes to renovation loans on FHA and first time home buyers. They're tough to do. It's tough to get it done. If we can find a better solution, I would recommend going that route. But it's worth having a conversation about it. I mean, it might be the difference between you having a contract and them having a nice house. I mean, there's a lot of flexibility.
Might be a difference in putting 10% down, doing 3.5% down, and having that cushion to help
Right.
do repairs or something. I mean, there's ways to look at everything.
And so FHA qualification, I mean, essentially any house qualifies for FHA if it's not a repair issue, right?
That's basically the same thing we went over on the USDA.
Yep,
You're
yep.
looking for anything that's
But
detrimental
Springfield
to
houses
structures.
would qualify for FHA. Rural properties would cover for FHA. Where they don't work is if it's a property that needs a lot of work. And in the MLS, there is the field of will sell. And so that will sell section is what the seller is willing to sell that property of. So some of them just stay cash. With this market lately,
Right.
they're not even looking at loans. They're not going to mess with conventional. Some of them say cash and conventional. A lot of times I think that has to do with misunderstanding repairs on conventional. But typically to go FHA, USDA, it will need to say will sell FHA, USDA. But that doesn't stop me. If there's a property one of my clients wants, I'll pick up that phone and have the conversation with the listing agent about FHA and USDA. I will tell you 99% of agents do not understand the appraisal process on an FHA and USDA loan. So
And when you go in and ask for the seller or the buyer to pay for the predications,
Mm-hmm.
the repairs, and you can even throw out there, my buyer's willing to go up to $2,500 with the repairs,
yeah.
pull up on, and just to give them a comfort, knowing you've inspected the property, you don't anticipate to get
Right.
25, but you're making it look sweeter.
Yes,
know?
There's a lot of ways to look at that. And I mean, the more you're in houses, I look up for structural damage. I mean, what a good house and what a bad house is. And, I tend to, when I'm showing houses, I talk people out of houses more than I talk them into it. It's a lot easier for me to get a clean house under contract and to closing than it is a bad house. It's not worth the time. Just talk them out of bad houses, people. It's not worth the time and the effort and the money for one to fall through. Unless they're a handyman type person. I mean, certain clients can take rough houses and they can end up with a lot of equity for them. But 90% of your buyers are not going to be able to handle a rough house, and you'll never get it to closing.